Let's see, who do we have here? We've got Tom Pickett. Nice to see you, Tom. Beatrice Hines, she says, howdy bird watchers. And Paul Burgart, I must say this program is strictly for the birds. That's right. Hardy har har. Beatrice says hello to everybody. And Dan Janicek's with us. And so anyway, he's got a nice little group of people. It's nice to have Tom. I have not seen you in a long time. We'll have to catch up by phone. But this time, Kent Marts has, the subject is some birds down under, so he's going to focus on lorikeets and a few other birds, I think. So, but, you know, it'd be really cool to go down there and see them in person.
Yeah. So, hi, Scott. How you doing?
Good.
We got a minute 20 left to go, it looks like, right?
Let's just go and get started. How about that? We'll get started here, a little intro, and then we'll be on the air.
Okay.
Here we go. Hello, everybody. It's Scott Roberts and Kent Marts. Let me bring Kent on with me. Here we are. And it is our 41st episode of On the Wing. And Kent decided that he wanted to look at the other half of the world as far as birds go. And so I'm going to turn it over to you, Kent. You are muted.
Thanks to James Dugan. There we go. Thank you, Scott. Thanks.
You're welcome.
Thanks to James Dugan, who lives in Australia. He has provided a couple of videos. And am I sharing the correct screen there this time, Scott?
Yes.
Looks like it. Okay, so here we go. So this is the Kookaburra. And, you know, here in the United States, I don't know if they sing this down under, but James Dugan is a regular on our shows, a viewer. You know, Scott, you and I probably grew up singing Kookaburra sits on the old gum tree, Mary, Mary, king of the woods. Yeah.
That's right.
So, but I never really, you know, okay, it's a kookaburra. It's a bird in Australia that hops around like a kangaroo and has a pouch. I don't know. You know, I never studied the kookaburra before. They don't have a pouch, but they are very large birds. The kookaburra is dimorphic, which means the male and females are different. And these are not small birds. Beak to tip of tail, they're between a foot and 19 inches long. So these are big birds.
Wow. Huge birds.
Huge birds. And they are, believe it or not, these birds are a kingfisher like we see around here. However, they're not a water bird, although they still are a kingfisher. They're native to Australia and New Guinea. And I have the map hidden behind the picture, but that's okay. They're basically a tropical rainforest bird, so they don't get into the interior of Australia. They're on the eastern seaboard and the North Island of New Zealand. Here we go. Let's watch this crazy video that James has posted on YouTube. Here we go. So that's a male blue-winged and a female blue-winged.
They're cute and cuddly.
They are very cute. We're going to watch this for. See that white stuff right there is a piece of chicken.
Oh, okay.
That bird caught it in the beak just like my dog does.
Oh, they eat chicken, so that means they're like cannibals or something, right?
They eat
birds.
They're omnivorous. And we'll talk about this in a minute, but they like to catch snakes and lizards and get really high and then drop them, or
Okay.
they'll land on a rock or a tree and pummel them into submission, and they'll pummel them into submission and then swallow them whole.
Wow.
So this video is a 3-minute video. We'll just watch the whole bit of it just to look at them.
Huge. So are they like the size of are they about the size of a chicken?
Yeah, I'd say they're about the size of a chicken, 19 inches tall, tip to tail. That's about their chicken size.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's it. Thank you, Scott. That's a great, they're like a broiler in a hen house or an egg layer. Look at them. So there's the lorikeet over there in the tree. You can see back there.
Oh, yeah, the colorful one. Look how pretty that is.
Yeah, just wait till the next video.
Yeah. Oh, this is James Dugan's video here. This is like at a sanctuary.
No, this is off his back deck.
Off his back deck. Okay.
Yeah.
All
So
right. He's home.
James lives in Sydney, Australia, and he lives about 6 kilometers, so roughly 4 miles from the Harbor Bridge.
Mm-hmm.
And this is off his back deck. You can hear jets overhead if you listen
Oh, and that's the
closely.
Lorikeet over there, I guess. Huh?
Right, and just wait till the next video.
Yeah.
A group of kangaroos is a mob. Well, you're getting ready to see a mob of lorikeets here in the next video. So none of these kookaburras are laughing. You're hearing all the lorikeets. I mean, it's hard to think of them as being chicken size.
That's right.
Yeah. They just look huge.
Okay, so now let's talk about the birds. Obviously, they're a sturdy bird, have a solid body, short neck, right? Look at that bill on that one. A long, stout bill with a very pointed tip, and they have a very short, strong legs. The males and females have noticeable differences, but only obvious in the blue-winged and rufous-bellied subspecies. And obviously here, these are a blue-winged because we can see that in one of them. The loud, distinctive call of the laughing kookaburra is the sound you often hear in stock footage used when they're in the Australian bush setting and in the tropical jungles, especially in older movies. The kookaburra is generally not a bird of the deserts, but hey, it's an Australian sound. They're found in their habitat is humid rainforest to arid savanna, and as well as suburban areas with tall trees or near running water. And as I said, although they belong to the kingfisher family, kookaburras generally are not associated with water. As I said, they kill snakes and lizards by dropping them or beating them into submission. And here's something weird, Scott. Kookaburras, well, birds generally, the crop is right at the base of the neck or even in the neck, right, where they grind up their food, right? Because this is weird, because they eat such large prey, their crop is between their legs, which is to me, a weird place to have your crop. And then they have to force it up into their belly. But the crop is really big and runs down all the way to their legs. Because think about it, even if you're the size of a chicken, you eat a 2-foot long snake, that would be a challenge to get a normal crop. And most kingfishers are solitary only during mating season. The kookaburra lives in large gregarious flocks, generally in family groups. And because they're down under, breeding happens in the spring, which starts in which starts in September and goes into January. They breed and nest in holes in trees, holes in the ground, on the ground, and in holes that have been chiseled out in termite mounds. And here's an interesting little stat I've learned. They leave the nest after 5 days from hatching, and then parents provide food for another 40 days on average. And at that point, then the birds are self-sufficient. So they grow really fast. So you want to give a shout out to people on the show real quick? Have a little break here?
Yeah, sure. I did give a shout out a little bit earlier, but first one to sign on was Tom Pickett. He is the president of the Facebook Astronomy Club, and so he allows me to post our programs, especially like Global Star Party, focus on astrophotography, the First Light Chronicles programs, and like that on that Facebook Astronomy Club user group, which has got tens of thousands of members.
Yeah, I was going to say like 40,000 members.
Something like that, So it's a nice, big, large, very active group, and we're always happy to belong to that. Tom must also have a fascination with birds, so that's cool.
No, we're finding that out, Scott, that bird watching and astronomy are very compatible hobbies.
Absolutely.
Right.
It a lot of the activities, you're using optics a lot of times. You're doing classification of things. It is a gateway science because almost anybody can do birding. Even if you're sight impaired, you can identify through bird songs, chirps like that.
In fact, Scott, identifying birds by their song is a more accurate way of identifying a bird other than by the way it looks. Mm-hmm. Its song is, as Dan George has told us, is much more definitive than the way it looks.
Right. Beatrice Hines is watching from Belgium. I think that she has also taken some nice bird photographs. Has she shared some with us that we've
she shared a blue tit and something else, and I'm going to do a show one of these days on the dragonflies and damselflies she takes pictures of.
Yeah.
So we'll focus on those just a little bit one day.
Yeah. Paul Burgard is watching. He had his little pun there that this program is strictly for the birds. So let's see. Dan Janisic is on with us, and Tom does like the birds, so that's cool. And Beatrice mentions that she said I haven't found time to send you my bird pictures with the story, but as soon as I can, you'll get them. And she adds, the birds have a cute face. And yes, I saw that program. Oh, with my bird pictures in replay. Thank you, Kent and Scott. So,
I probably just sitting here thinking of it when I'm using people's pictures. I need to say, hey, I'm going to be using your pictures tomorrow, so they have a time to watch it live and be part of it. I have not thought about that until just now. So I'm glad she said that and made me think of it. So thank you, Beatrice, for thumping me in the head across the pond, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So want to move on, Scott?
Yeah, let's go.
Okay. So here we go. So these are the Lorikeets.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, just watch this.
They are.
Just watch. Yeah. So these birds are they're rainbow Lorikeets, which is a type of parakeet. Okay. And they're 10 to 12 inches beak to tail. So again, pretty good sized birds, although they're very tubular and not chunky bodied like the other one. And as a description I found, the rainbow lorikeet is unmistakable with its bright red beak and colorful plumage. Both sexes are the same, so they're monomorphic. They have a mauve or blue head and belly, green wings, tail and back, orange/yellow breast,
beautiful. Yeah.
and are often seen in loud, fast-moving flocks, or in communal roosts at dusk. Here we go. The chaos of this mob of birds.
Okay, so
Oh my God.
I told you about the
Told ya.
birds that I'm getting.
Man, oh man, look how many. We must feed them every day.
Yes. Well, they're completely tame.
Okay.
Wow.
So they're begging for food.
Lorikeets, huh? Now,
Someone pushed.
what's special about these birds? Yeah, aside from their amazing plumage and colors.
They're a big parakeet. You know, I'm gonna stop this because it's so loud. I think that there's nothing. It's no more special or unspecial than any other. It's just that they're so blasted colorful, you know. And you know, we don't have the indigo bunting. You know, is beautiful. You know, there's some, but we have United States had a native parakeet that was a beautiful green bird that's been extirpated, so it's gone. But just fascinating colors on these birds. Let me go ahead and start again and get to where the feeding frenzy starts. It's impressive. White bread.
Oh my God.
These are some moss pits that I'm talking about.
It's a mosh pit. He calls it a mosh pit.
That's amazing. That's just amazing.
You know, I'm gonna stop it here. He's got it set up really well. He's got, this mesh right here for him to climb on.
Yeah.
There's a TV antenna over here in the corner. You know, I think.
I see. That's just for him to sit on, I guess.
Yeah, it's for him to sit on. You know, for him to perch on.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that the droppings are fun to have to wash away or deal with. But let's go ahead and click through this and watch this.
Well, yeah, if you're keeping a bird, clean up after them.
Yep.
But there's a lot of them there to clean up after. It's just beautiful.
They're really unsure of the phone. But they are wild.
They could care less.
That's fine to say, I know it's
Yeah.
made them, but
Yeah, they don't look like they're afraid of anything there.
Uber, attention span is probably.
It's so cool.
Oh, I just saw right there. Oh, no, there's a bird of some sort. I just saw some bird. Oh, another piece of bread. Oh yeah, I'm sitting here smiling, just like you are. I can see you've got. I'm just sitting here smiling.
Yeah. It's so pretty.
Okay, so as you can see, it's a chaos. A large flock. Um, Common along the eastern seaboard, habitat again is much like the Kookaburra, rainforest, coastal bush, and woodland areas. There are 6 taxa, in other words, groups, traditionally listed as subspecies. However, they are now treated as their own separate species. The rainbow lorikeet is a medium-sized parrot. As with all the subspecies, its plumage is very bright and colorful. As we said, the head is a deep blue with greenish neck with a greenish yellow neutral collar. The upper parts, wings, back, and tail are green. Chest is orange and yellow. The belly is deep blue, and the thighs and rump are green. In flight, you can see yellow wing bars contrasting with the red underwing coverts. So the red wings on the bottom, the feathers on the bottom of their wings are red, and you can't really tell any difference between the species. Juveniles are marked by having black beaks that brighten to orange as they reach adulthood. They travel together in pairs and occasionally respond to calls as they fly together in flocks, and then join again back to pairs. They'll defend their nesting and feeding areas aggressively against other rainbow lorikeets and other bird species. And they will chase off not only smaller birds such as the myna and little wattle bird, which are birds that we're going to have to get James to get pictures of, but also birds as large as the Australian magpie, which is a very large bird. Think an American crow, but bigger. They feed mainly on fruit, pollen, and nectar. And Scott, they have a tongue that is adapted especially for that diet. The end of the tongue is equipped with a palpata appendage, which is adapted for gathering pollen and nectar from flowers.
Oh, wow. Similar to maybe like a hummingbird or something?
I did not look it up, but it's got to be sort of a similar process. For the Australian populations, eucalyptus is an important nectar producer, as well as, okay, I'm going to have trouble. I practice Pizzosporum, Grevillea, and African tulip tree, and the sago palm. And in
say that 10 times really fast.
Yes, exactly. And in Malaysia, coconuts become the important food source.
Yeah.
And not only food for the rainbow lorikeets are also an important pollinator of the coconuts as well. They'll consume fruit from fica, terma, mutandingia, papaya, mangoes, if those have already been opened by fruit bats. They'll also eat apples, raid cornfields and sorghum fields. And as we see here, Scott, they are frequent visitors to bird feeders in gardens and will eat store-bought nectar, sunflower seeds, fruit, apples, pears, and grapes, and obviously bread. In many places, including campsites and suburban gardens, wild lorikeets have become so humanized that they can be hand-fed, proven by Mr. James Dugan himself.
Well, he is definitely loved by these birds. It's wonderful. I bet he gets these birds every day. That's really cool.
Oh yeah. When I get my house built and moved, my goal is to try and hand feed, because there's a lot of bluebirds out there. Okay. My goal is to try and hand feed bluebirds, and there's some crows that are always around. Mm-hmm. And I want to try and tame down and hand feed some crows as well. That'll be a fun adventure that probably is impossible for me to do, but it's a challenge, so go for it. So I hope I'm going to send an email to James and ask him to send me some other birds from down under. Obviously, the myna bird we might all be familiar with because they're a bird you see in the pet trade because they are great mimics and can talk. So, Scott, how do these lorikeets compare to the parrot that Wendy has?
Well, these are far more colorful. I think they're probably roughly the same size as you know, you know, the parrots that my wife has, but I mean, these colors are just like stunning. You know, they're kind of a purple head and red beak, and yellow and green, and I mean, it's just an
Orange,
explosion of color. You know,
red,
so
red on the bottoms of their wings. I mean, it's just,
yeah, just
yeah,
really stunning. You know, it's
yeah.
like wow. So I love it.
I'm
What
so
it sort of reminds me of is there's the festival in India where they throw color powder at each other, and you get all these bright colors and stuff. So it's very cool.
yeah. I'm surprised. I'm looking to see if the lorikeet is a pet trade item. Yeah. Oh, what's going on here? Something's happening on my screen. Oh, QuickBooks is launching. Great. So let me close QuickBooks here. There we go. Back to that. So yes, apparently there is a lorikeets may be available in the United States. Who knew? So here's some images from the Tulsa Zoo. Tulsa's close to us, so they apparently have a population of lorikeets. So anyway, not that I advocate keeping birds, but there's plenty of parakeets out there for sale. But a lorikeet's a flock bird and probably would not be happy in a cage by itself.
Sure.
So all right, so we're gonna move on. Scott, these are gonna be some pictures that might be familiar to you.
Oh yeah.
Tell us what's going on
This
here.
is my patio, backyard, and you were mentioning that you thought this bird was a wren.
It's going to be a house wren. My guess is a house wren or a Carolina wren.
Okay.
That tail sticking.
My daughter made. She bought this kind of prefabbed, unpainted, bird feeder house, whatever, from Hobby Lobby, and so she painted it as kind of a little, fun project. And I went out of town. So before I went out of town, I filled it with bird seed. So we had been filling it with bird seed, and the birds would eat it every few days down to the bottom. And then so I come back, and I've got my bag of bird seed to put in it, but I realize it's kind of occupied, and so anyways, you still got a photo by Carl Bernhardt up there, but that's my photo.
Oh sure. Oh, well, I don't know how I did that. Sorry.
It's all right.
It's Scott's photo, not Carl's.
Carl can have it,
So Scott,
if he'll have it. I don't know if it's good enough for Carl, but
I'm on a couple of birding pages, Facebook pages, and they prohibit pictures of nests because it encourages people to take pictures and find nests and take more pictures and more pictures, which which can disrupt the parents and make them abandon the net. But this is right outside your door.
I'm not climbing up a tree or something to go,
Right.
So, and I do have to go in my backyard from time to time. So,
so when you go out the door, the bird, if it's there, takes off. But as soon as you're gone, it comes back, and you're not pestering it. You're not pestering it all the time.
No.
Right.
Not
Now, we don't encourage. In fact, we don't just leave nests alone. But if this is house wrens and Carolina wrens are prolific nesters around humans, and we have one that they were building a nest, but I haven't seen them. That's on my daughter's back porch, and I think sparrows may have chased them off. But my parents have had uh, wrens nest in wreaths on doors, flower planters inside of a barbecue grill that they didn't. It flew up underneath the back vent and built a nest. And Dad went to cook hamburgers, and here was a nest with eggs in it. So,
yeah, you're not cooking hamburgers
no,
there today.
no cooking hamburgers until the birds are gone. Yeah, so it's pretty cool, and they're very humanized and common around where humans go, and I think that in this situation, it is what it is. So another picture, and this, Scott, almost looks like a painting. Just the colors and the angle is just a really pretty picture.
Yeah, so I just I stuck my iPhone just kind of up at an angle just to see what was going on in there. This is the first day that I discovered that there were eggs in there, and so there they are. These little eggs are, they're tiny. The bird is tiny, and that whole structure is maybe, I don't know, 4 or 5 inches,
5 inches
wide,
across,
something like that. So a beautiful nest, so the second time I went out, I've been leaving it alone. So the second time I went out, I got another surprise. So another egg. But
so
look
Scott,
at the nest. Look how beautifully knit and soft and woven this nest is.
So Scott, you get if you get one more egg, are you gonna have an omelet?
No.
No. Okay.
No.
Okay. Yeah, I know, Scott.
I thought they're pretty. They're speckled.
It looks like there's some twine in there. If you look right here, right here.
Actually, the bird's nest or the bird structure is held up with some rope, and I think she tore off strands of that rope and used that to maybe make it softer or warmer in there or something. So
piece of string right here, and you can see pieces of grass with heads and bigger sticks. Now I'm gonna go back one photo. I noticed right here's a big old chunk of moss.
Okay.
Right there's a big chunk of moss that they've carried in, for, I don't know, moisture absorption or, padding or whatever. But but just off the patio in Fayetteville, Arkansas, Fayetteville, Arkansas. So, and I, without a picture of the bird, I can't identify it. I tried to look up the eggs.
Will not stick around for me to really get a good picture of it.
And do you have a window you might be able to get a picture through? When it comes in and lands before the.
Yes, I would have to spend some time. I'm thinking that maybe we got some cameras here, and I was thinking maybe if maybe I can consult with you on it, but maybe that little Alpine action cam or something is something I could set up.
Sure, we could do that.
Do a time lapse or something, and then
that would be a Heath thing because Heath has done it. Heath has done, some bird cameras set outside, and we'd have to mount it somewhere and figure out a way to mount it close. But certainly we could do that. That Bresser, the Alpine 4K action camera.
Right.
You're right.
That would be a nice one.
Yeah, it would be a nice one. See, I got Scott Roberts on the other one, by the way, but I fixed it on the first one.
Okay.
So,
all right, that's cool.
So, all right, I had him right on the last two. That middle picture of those is I think it's just a beautiful photo. It almost looks like a surrealist painting or maybe not surrealist, but the colors.
I was surprised at how beautiful the nest was and stuff. And, I imagine once the chicks hatch and everything like that Mary will probably just want to keep it, because it's just so beautiful. But
right.
Yeah, so we'll see.
Yeah, so it'll be by the time.
Well, now let me ask you a question about the wren. Will it come back to its old nest?
They're nesting. I'm going to guess that they may nest multiple times. It's early enough in the season that I don't know that for a fact, but many birds will have a couple of clutches at least. Yeah. So it's entirely possible. I would wait until late summer, and just not feed birds or go get another bird feeder and put up
Yeah.
and feed birds that way. And nests are beautiful things. It's where it's going to be dry. So unless something tears it up, now at the end of the season they quit using it, it's going to be full of bird poop,
Hmm.
because the babies are in there, and the parents can't get it all out. So they're going to have to be some cleaning. But it's beautiful handiwork and amazing a bird can weave like that. I mean, I've used a loom before, and it looked terrible, but that bird made that beautiful work of art. It's just
Yeah.
just beautiful. So yeah, we're gonna get a picture of that bird. Maybe figure out a way to mount a camera so we can get the bird coming in and landing and uh, you know doing its bird thing, especially after they hatch. Seeing those little heads come up is going to be pretty cool as well.
Yeah.
So
Oh
all
yeah.
again, doing this, I think because this bird is nested so close to humans, and we know that it's a species that is associated with humans, I don't think there'll be any problem trying to get good video of this and cause the
Yeah.
parents to
I mean, if
abandon
I
the
get a
nest.
camera out there, I'll be working unmanned, so to speak.
Yeah,
So I'm not gonna,
yeah.
but the bird does leave from time to time.
It's got to go eat. It's going to go
Gotta
eat.
go eat.
So,
Yes.
some Saturday you're sitting there, this Saturday you're sitting there waiting to go. And as soon as it leaves, pop out there, set it up. And the
Right.
bird's probably not even going to notice. Yeah. So
Don't think so.
don't
Yeah.
think so. So anyway, that's the show for the day. Not real extensive, but
Yeah,
been
but
busy, and
very nice. Very
it was
nice.
those,
Yeah, that festival in India is called the Festival of Colors, and so those birds look like that they've been just like smacked with all these different, uh,
paint.
paint. Yeah,
Oh,
exactly.
those paint bombs where they throw all that
It's a powder. It's
the
colored
powder.
powder is what it
Yeah.
is. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's just amazing. And you see those gigantic clouds of color coming up, and I'm thinking, how hard it has to be to breathe with that gigantic clouds of color. But I guess you
Right.
know it's worth it. So,
Right.
all right. So
Um,
hey,
I did.
let
I wanted to mention something. This is the
yeah,
latest
I
issue
was
of Sky and
okay.
Telescope magazine, globular star clusters for summer nights, and this is the which issue? This is the July issue, and on the back cover is the Arizona Dark Sky Star Party that Explore Scientific and the Explorer. This is an Explorer Alliance event, and we have 150 spots open for amateur astronomers to sign up. You will be able to get into the park and experience a lot of the event, but to have your equipment there overnight, in a secure location, whether you're camping with it or you're staying, off site or whatever, that's up to you. But we will be selling tickets for that. The page is getting finished right now and should be up. But this is since we're an advertiser, we get like early issues of this.
So, and the dates, Scott, are September 1 through 25, correct?
No, September 21st.
Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah, 21 through 25, not one.
Yeah,
It's a very
September
long
1,
month.
2021 through
Yes.
September 25th, 2023. We're
There we
just
go.
going to stay there.
So, are we going to be able to camp in the park, which is generally not allowed in the
Yes,
park? Right.
of course. And they have these beautiful little camp spots and everything. So if you're tent camping, you're good. There's going to be some limited RV spots, okay, that will be available.
And it's going to
A
be dry
lot of
camping.
people are going to stay at Biosphere too. They have these casitas that are there, and so what's cooler than that than to stay in a facility next to Biosphere 2. You're not going to be in the dome where the Biospherians lived, but you will be in what they call the casitas that's next to Biosphere 2. So we will have tours of Biosphere 2. We'll have an incredible speaker lineup for the Arizona Dark Sky Star Party. Of course, David Levy will be there. We have a lot of other speakers that'll be there. And it is in person and a virtual event. So we will have, we'll do Global Star Party from Biosphere 2, and it should be really cool. The council, let's see, it's the Catalina Council of the Scouts of America is going to be there, and they're going to do things like use our new thermal imaging systems from Alpen, and do nighttime thermal viewing of wildlife. Because there's that pavilion that's out there, so you can do birding during the daytime and all the rest of it. But at night, you're going to be able to see the animals and the wildlife of Oracle State Park come to that watering hole, and so that's going to be very, very cool.
It's also a good birding spot, Scott. The bird migration.
Yeah, this is I think they're in a major birding corridor
right
out there, and so that's cool.
That's smack dab in the middle of the fall migration right there.
We'll have a professional photographer that's going to be out there to show people how to get great wildlife shots, and so they'll be part of it as well. But it's going to be cool. You'll be able to go out there and chill with your friends, do astrophotography, go to Biosphere 2. You'll be in this, actually within driving distance of Tucson if you want to go hang out in Tucson for a day or something. And there's lots of cool restaurants and things to do in Tucson. But Oracle State Park is a gem, and it is Arizona's first international dark sky park. And so that's great. And Mike Wiesner, I think you're still watching it. So I'll send you a copy of this if you don't already get it, Mike. Okay? And so that's it. That's my spiel for today.
Scott, we ought to send one of our sandwich boards to Mike to put up at the state park.
They're getting posters, and they've already agreed to set them up.
Yeah. So. And while it's virtual, you'll be able to see some of the stuff, but make it out there. This is a fantastic event. The one we did in 2019, was it, Scott?
Yes.
The first one and the last one so far that we did in 2019, we had 4 nights of viewing, 4 spectacular nights of viewing in the beautiful, dark, dry Arizona skies. It was fantastic for viewing. I stayed up all night with David Levy one night using his is it a 12-inch truss tube Dobsonian?
Explorer scientific 12-inch Dobsonian that he constantly recommends and tells us it's one of the very best telescopes he's ever used, which is saying a lot because David Levy has used a lot of different telescopes in his life.
Yep.
So that's great, and he likes to use those 92-degree eyepieces on it. So,
yeah, I will tell you this: I was sitting there, and he went, "Ooh, what's that?" I don't remember that, and I'm sitting there thinking.
Watching David Levy have a discovery moment, huh?
I'm thinking I'm getting ready to be the second person to see a comet, right? A new comet coming in that nobody else got, and he went back to it and he went, "No, it's not moving," and it's like, darn it, I got to almost help discover a comet. So, because David Levy has the night sky memorized.
Oh yeah.
He literally, is a master at doing that.
Yes,
so,
he is.
Anyway, it's going to be a fun event. Everybody should sign up and come to it. Plan now. There's no hotels in Oracle, is there, Scott? There's not a hotel.
There are people that have already registered, like Airbnbs there. There is not a motel or a hotel there, but Biosphere 2 has quite a number of rooms, and so that will be something. We will be renting those rooms ourselves. We've got the whole block of them locked up right now, so there's roughly, I think, 80 rooms available, something like that.
Yeah, so good sized place. How far away is it from Oracle? 12 miles?
10 miles.
10 miles. Yeah, easy drive.
Easy drive, 10 minutes to get down there. So,
Yeah.
yep.
All right. So good enough.
All right.
Hey, if you've got pictures of birds, send them to me. Explore Alliance at explorescientific.com.
Yep.
Send me those pictures.
All right. Good night. And keep looking out.
Bye, everybody.